This video will show you how to make fireworks animations in Blender. Please watch up to the very end. When you open Blender, first press Delete to delete the default cube. Press Shift to then go to Mesh and add an icosphere. Press S then 0.25 to scale it down by 0.25. Press Shift D then Z to duplicate it down here along the Z. Press S then 0.5 to scale it down by 0.5. Expand on this timeline, then select this icosphere and turn on this auto keying button. Make sure you are on frame 1, then press G, then click to assign a keyframe to it in this very position. Come to frame 40 and press G then Z then 6 to move it up along the Z by 6. Now if you play it you can see it going up. So go back to frame 0 and come to the particle properties. Click on this plus icon to add a particle system to it. Come here under number and reduce it to 500, then come here to the end frame and reduce it to 40. If you play it you can see it emitting particles going up, but we need to make them disappear faster. So go back to the first frame, then come to the particle properties and reduce its lifetime to 10. Now if you play it you can see that the particles disappear faster. Come back to frame 40 and press G then Z then 5 to move it further up along the Z by 5. If you play it again you can see that the particles seem to take longer to disappear. So to fix that, come back to the particle properties and reduce the lifetime to 8. Now if you play it you can see that it's okay. So come back to the particle properties and scroll down, then click on this drop down arrow on velocity, then reduce this normal to 0. Now if you play it you can see that the particles are not spreading out anymore. Now scroll down, then click on this drop down arrow on render, then under render is click here, then switch it from halo to object. Under instance object click on the eyedropper, then choose this icosphere. Now if you play it you can see it emitting particles, but they are very tiny. So to fix that, come here under scale and increase it to about 0.4. Come to the scale randomness and increase it to get some variation of small and big particles. Now if you play it you can see that the simulation is okay. So go to frame 50 and click on this plus icon to add another particle system to it. Increase this number to 2000, then make the frame start 50 as well. Now if you play it you can see that our second particle system starts from there. So first come here and reduce its lifetime to 20. Reduce the end frame to 60 as well. Now if you play it you can see that the result isn't endless. So scroll down under velocity and increase the normal velocity to 5. Now if you play it you can see the result getting better. Scroll down under render, and under render is change it from halo to object. Under instance object choose this icosphere. Increase the scale to about 0.3. If you play it you can see the result looking good, but the particles are not spreading out well. So to fix that, scroll down and click on this drop down arrow on field weight. Reduce the gravity to about 0.4, then come to the timeline and reduce the end frame to 100, then increase the start frame to 50 for the meantime. Now press the space button to play it as you adjust the gravity value until the results look fine to you. In my case I'll leave it at 0.2. So come to the timeline and reduce the start frame to 1. Now if you play it you can see our fireworks coming out. So go to the render properties, then click on this icon to switch to the render preview. Click on these boxes to activate ambient occlusion, bloom, then screen space reflections. Select this light and press delete to delete it. Now go to the world properties and click here, then change this color to a dark color. Expand on this timeline, then click on this icon, then change this area to a shader editor. Click on new to add a new material. Inside the principled BSDF shader node, click on this drop-down arrow on emission, then increase on its strength. Now if you press space to play it you can see it glowing. So let's create another area here and change it to a timeline. Select this other icosphere and come back to the shader editor, then click on new to add a new material. Inside the principled BSDF shader node, click on this drop-down arrow on emission, then increase on its strength. Click on this icon to turn off the overlays. Now if you play it, you can see the animation coming out. You can come here then adjust on the emission color to your liking. If you feel like this is glowing too much, come back to the render properties and click on this drop down arrow on bloom, then reduce on the intensity until the result looks good to you. You can also adjust on the glowing color to your liking as well. You can now come to the outliner and disable the viewport and render visibility for this second icosphere. Just in case you want to create multiple of them, first click here to go back to the solid view. Come to frame 40, then click on this X to go to a side view. Make sure this icosphere is selected, then press Shift D to duplicate it this side. Press Shift D again to duplicate it this other side as well. Now if you play it, you'll see them exploding at the same time. So switch back to the render preview, then go to the particle properties. Scroll down to render, then go to the 50th frame and click on this dot alongside show emitter to add a keyframe to it. Go to frame 51, then deactivate show emitter to assign another keyframe. Scroll down to viewport display, then go to the 50th frame and click on this dot alongside show emitter to add a keyframe to it. Go to frame 51, then deactivate show emitter to assign another keyframe to it as well. Now if you play the simulation, you can see that this sphere disappears after frame 50. Do the same for the rest of the icospheres. In case you want them to shoot at different times, select this fireworks, then come to the 10th frame and press G to move the keyframes to start at the 10th frame. Select this other fireworks as well, then go to the 20th frame and press G to move the keyframes to start at the 20th frame. Now if you play them, you can see them setting off at different times but still explode at the same time. So to fix that, select this first one, then go to the particle properties and make sure that this second particle system is selected, then click on this icon to duplicate it. Now come down here and increase the start and end frame by 10. Select this other one and also click on this icon to duplicate the second particle system, then increase the start and end frame by 20. Now if you play the simulation, you can see it coming out perfectly. And now we are done. You can now go ahead to give it a nice camera angle and render. Thank you so much for watching up to now, I really appreciate. If you found this video useful, please consider subscribing to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you never miss out on our latest content. Also let us know what you want us to teach you about Blender in the comments. I promise we'll make a video. Have fun animating. I sign out.